To that, man. Respect to that.
So it's a role that's funded by the NGB. So within Box, there are, let's get this right. So rugby union, tennis, American football, rugby league. So there are 4 funded roles within Box, which are funded by national governing bodies. So my role is one of those roles, which is funded by the national governing body. And essentially, I'm in charge of the American football program at Box. So that's sort of the weekly league and knockout competition program, and also sort of the growth and development of the game within the HE sector as well. So it's anywhere from sort of your league manager, competition manager sort of role to a sports development type position as well. So yeah, that's in essence what the role is about.
So what does the org look like? Who do you report to?
So I currently sit in the competitions and performance team, who are responsible for, as the name implies, all our competition and performance sports. So within Box, we deliver 55 sports in general, but we deliver only 24 league and knockout sports. So those are your weekly league and league games and sort of playoffs, or what we call knockouts in Box. So I sit in that competitions and performance team. I report into the national competitions manager, who reports up into the head of competitions and performance. So yeah, that's what the org chart looks like at the moment.
So how long have you been doing this role then?
So I joined Box in January 2022, I want to say. Yeah, but I actually joined in a digital role. So I was working on our competition management platform, so Box Play. I was in that role for about 2 months or so, and then this American football role was advertised and created, which was essentially the first of its kind. And at that point, everyone sort of knew about my love and passion for American football. They knew I played the sport as well.
Was there a lot of competition for the role?
Again, I'm guessing, other people sort of applied externally, but internally, I think I'm the only one who applied. I don't know. But yeah, so I went through the same process everyone else went through. So I had to apply for it, had interviews for it as well. But yeah, for me, I felt like it was a role that was basically tailor-made for me. So yeah, a chance to work in a sport which I've been playing or been involved in since 2015 was pretty much a dream come
big
through.
Part,
so
you got it playing.
Obviously, he's got operational experience in the back. Obviously, he's got playing experience. Boots on the ground.
Today's playing experience as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is a lot though, because essentially now my whole life revolves around American football. So I can be at practice on a Wednesday, on a Sunday, which is supposed to be my time to, I don't know, switch off or just do something I love, and I'm there talking about work. Or again, it's a blessing and a curse. But again, like I said, I'm doing something I love, and I'm working in something I love. So at the end of the day, I think the blessings far outstrip the curse.
So the reason I asked you that question is because I wanted, and you might be able to answer this question because you've only been there like 2 years, right? But what's the most significant change that you've seen in American football in universities in that period of time?
Yeah, so I think the key thing is, American football officially became part of Box in, 2012 was when the agreement was made, but the first season in Box was 2013. Obviously, I wasn't involved in American football at that point. Like I said, I started playing in 2015. But anyone you sort of speak to who's been involved in the game of however long, they'll always tell you that American football at the uni level, at the higher education level, outside of Box, wasn't necessarily organized or as organized as it could have been. Yes, there were positives to it. There were there were pluses to it, but it wasn't necessarily organized. And then on the flip side of things as well, within universities or within those institutions, the people who had the power didn't necessarily see American football as a serious sport.
Right.
The reason why is Box is ultimately seen as this golden egg when it comes to higher education sports. It is sort of the gold standard. If you're not necessarily a Box sport, you don't entirely have a lot of sway within your sort of universities. It's almost like once you become a Box sport, you receive that sort of stamp of approval. Now you're essentially seen as an official sport within the HE sector. So, and in those years, again, not taking away from anyone who competed, was it WAFL, I think that's what it was called, British University American Football League. I think that's what it was called before he came into box. Again, not taking anyone who sort of came up or competed in those competitions, but it's almost like once you then become a box sport, you get that stamp of approval. Just because, again, boxers in sort of different guises has been around for over 100 years. So there is a real sort of weight of, I don't know, acknowledgement that comes with sort of box. There's a real sort of tested and proven method that comes with box. There is a wealth of experience, a wealth of knowledge that sort of comes with that. So I think that's been the major change. It's the fact that there's been a switch within universities. American football is now sort of seen as actually this is an interesting sport. This is a sport that is going somewhere. And when you sort of look at, again, sort of numbers over the last few years as well. So our Box Big Wednesday, which is sort of the culmination of the league and knockout program, which is, I don't know, sort of like our Super Bowl, but not just for American football. It's for 15 other league and knockout sports as well. In 2022, the national championship game had over 25,000 views on YouTube, which is one of the most viewed streams on the Box YouTube page.
Really?
Again,
in comparison to the other sports as well.
In comparison to the other sports, yeah.
That's an interesting stat.
So there is that sort of clear interest in it. Again, you sort of have universities now who have sort of seen American football as their prime focus in terms of recruitment, in terms of sort of investment, and have solely focused on American football. These were things which were potentially happening outside of box. So again, these are conversations and sort of directions that wouldn't necessarily have been possible without American football coming under the box umbrella.
Got it.
And you're just saying about the views there. On those views, have they got like data on what age group that is, or where it's coming from?
I'm sure our engagement team have those numbers. I don't have them to hand, but again, I'm sure they definitely do.
Because that'd be interesting to see where the views actually, how much is coming from this country. You know what I mean? Because if you're saying those figures, where are they for the other leagues, or are they old enough to play these sports, or do they want to play these sports? Just things along them lines. It'd just be good to see where they come from. But we know they're here because of the data. Well, you see the amount of people that go to NFL games. That's. We've been down to Spurs, and you go down there, and it's absolutely jam packed. So we know the fans are here. So why is that league? The university league is doing very well, but why is the other league kind of suffering a little bit?
What other league? As in BAFA?
Yeah, sorry, BAFA.
Look, man, the thing about it is, what Tonya is explaining to us about American football, that now being part of box, they have just been now got that rubber stamp. They've now been amplified. They've got the funding behind it. I'm now starting to get it. For me, the penny's starting to drop in regards to these rumours about where Bucks is going with regards to where the communal game is going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's structure. Box.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Box equals structure.
Yeah.
Box equals strategy. Box. You know what I mean? Box equals funding. And those things have been a problem
for years
for BAFA.